Okay, so the next concept we're going to look at is the idea of a starting pose for the robot. Every robot has to know where it's currently positioned in space, or more importantly, it needs to know the rotation angles for each of its joints. So if we consider that we want to work in degrees and not radians, there's a handy conversion tool for converting from degrees to radians, and then that's attached to our joint rotation targets. So this is a target component. It has a lot of options that we'll go into later, but basically everything that we do in robots will be to assign targets to the robot, and that's even when you're just moving the joint rotations. So here we're very explicitly saying that we would like to have the robot in this kind of T configuration when we start, so that we're directly above the surface that we're working with. And I just happen to know that if we set up the base to 0 and then the next joint to -90 and so on, that we will get what's called an on-table kind of T-shaped pose, okay? Uh, if we change those joint rotations, then you can dynamically see that the robot will begin to move. And so you pretty much can have any starting position that you like. Um, Sometimes I like to tuck it back in so it's not as extended. The simplest case is when we connect just a single target, in this case the starting position, directly to our program component. So the program component needs a name for your program. So we're going to follow this curve, so I'm calling it follow. If you don't want any errors, just keep it to one word. It needs a robot, which we are connecting from the robot installation that we talked about previously. And to generate a program, you also need the targets. In this case, we only have a single target. This little arrow we'll talk about later. For those of you that know a little bit of Grasshopper, it means that we're flattening the list of targets. Doesn't really matter for this one because we only have one target. If you connect these things up and you do not have any warnings or errors, it's basically empty. That's good. It means that you're ready to generate a program. Now, this is a simple case, so let's talk about how to actually connect the robot so it will follow these targets, and then we'll look at how to simulate and how to upload to the machine.